This is the RadioX Evening Show with me, Dan O'Connell. Tuesday night, it's another biggie. Tonight, we welcome Kevin from Two Door Cinema Club. Kev, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
How is everything? How is everybody? How are you?
I'm great, except I did drop this morning a very, very heavy child's toy on my ankle. Apart from that, I'm feeling good.
I did exactly the same. I've got a wooden kitchen.
It was wooden, yeah. It wasn't a kitchen, but it was wooden.
It was the scales and the mixing bowl from the wooden kitchen on my toe.
Ouch. Yeah. See, this moved all this kind of Montessori, Scandi, all natural.
Exactly.
Great for their development, really bad for clumsy dads. We've come a long way since since our original first meeting, as we were talking about.
We did meet on stage at Brixton Academy 13 years ago, which was a very rock and roll night, and it certainly didn't involve wooden toys from Montessori shop. And how are you personally? How are you as a band member? How's your health?
Health is good. Yeah, I mean, obviously, maybe about a year ago, we had to kind of cancel some stuff and move things around. But yeah, I'm feeling really good. And yeah, again, tip my cap to the NHS for sorting me out so fast. So yeah, I'm just feeling really good. I think as a band, we're feeling really energized and ready to go out and yeah, do some things that we haven't done in a few years, whether that be because of COVID or just because of maybe we had a bit of fatigue or whatever, but we're kind of very driven at the moment to go out and play some shows and write music and talk to you. So
I'm glad for
we're
that.
feeling good. Yeah.
So in terms of recovery and things like that, has that shifted your priorities? I mean, obviously you're a dad, I guess that always changes things, but then you have a kind of health scare and that always changes things from people that I've met.
Yeah, massively. I mean, it's still something that I kind of have to deal with and manage. You know, I will have to forever. But yeah, I think I'm very grateful to, you know, my wife and my kids, but also, you know, the other guys in the band have always had a really good understanding with each other, you know, whether it be, you know, physical health or mental health. We've always been kind of there for each other and, you know, giving each other the time and space and understanding to kind of do what each of us need to do. It's so much more calm, I think, when you become a dad as well. You're like, yeah, you learn to let go of a lot of things.
It's the ultimate lesson in control, I've found. I've got a 3-year-old and I've got a 2-year-old. Mm-hmm. And I find myself every day realising how little control or influence I have on anybody.
Yeah, exactly. I've been teaching my toddler to say that I'm the boss, just so as a, you know, a perfect, just like it's some sort of, you know, verbal cue that I'm in control, even though in reality I'm not, you know.
So let's talk Sure Enough. Another banger from Banger. It's fantastic and it's exactly what I wanted from Two Door. Is there a new album coming? Is there a bigger thing around this, or is this just a song?
It's definitely not the last song that we are going to release in the near future. if I can put it that way. We have more music finished. We are working on more stuff. This is very much the beginning of something, rather than it isn't the something.
Okay, well, that is great news, obviously. A vague answer, sure, but good news anyway. So let's play the song. If you haven't heard this yet, turn this up. This is brand new music from Two Door Cinema Club on the RadioX Evening Show. This is called Sure Enough.
Radio X.
That was Two Door Cinema Club, and sure enough, brand new music on the Radio X Evening Show. Not the last bit of new music you're going to hear from this band in the foreseeable future, and we'll keep it at that. Presumably, if that is an answer you'd like to give us, then what about tours? Is there going to be dates and live dates we can get involved in?
Do you have a passport? Okay.
The last time I saw you was in America.
Well, there you go. At the moment, we have a lot of shows in America lined up. It's kind of a place that we haven't been for a while, so we are spending a lot of time in the States next year, and we will definitely have some UK dates in the diary at some point. Again, I feel like I should be more equipped with better answers, but yes, we will play more gigs in the UK.
Good.
At some point.
That show I was referencing there about seeing you in America, it must have been about, 2016, 2017. And it was in LA.
Oh, right.
We played
okay.
downtown in LA.
Right, yeah.
And I went there expecting nothing. There was, I didn't have any sort of vision of what it was going to be. But I couldn't believe, and I hope this doesn't sound cruel, but I couldn't believe how mental these Americans were going for Two Door Cinema Club in this huge venue. I was like, this is wild.
Yeah, I mean, America's has been so good to us. I wish I had the recipe for how we did it, so I could patent it and sell it. But yeah, it's always been great for us. I think LA in particular has always been great.
Are there other places around the world where you get that reaction? Because you know what I'm talking about, right? You know that sense. It's like when you speak to a lot of bands, if we go UK based, right? Whenever you speak to anybody, they always say Glasgow and Manchester. Madness.
I'd say our craziest gigs are usually, a Glasgow or Manchester, but outside the UK, I would say just as crazy, if not more crazy, would be Brazil or Mexico for us.
Right.
Is a bit wild. But everyone's kind of different, and they have their own idiosyncrasies in terms of how they go wild in a gig.
I'll tell you another interesting place to watch a gig, Japan. Because they get there early. The shows are on earlier, but they'll just stand there respectfully and soak it all up.
Yeah, it's bonkers. They have so if you imagine you're in a theatre venue and then there's the floor, obviously, where everyone's standing. They have, it's almost like there's these little bars all along the floor. They look like the little sort of U-shaped things you lock your bike to.
Right, yeah.
They look like that. They're all dotted around the floor of the standing area. And we, for ages, had no idea. We thought it was maybe a safety thing, people can lean against or whatever to stop a crush or whatever. But it turned out that those bars have a code, a number, B32. And when you buy a ticket, it says where you're going to stand, and people obey.
They do. Okay, let's play this then. This is the Radio X Evening Show. We've got more from Kev next. This is the Radio X Evening Show with me, Dan O'Connell. Tonight we are joined by Kev from Two Door Cinema Club. They are back with an absolute banger called Sure Enough. You can catch up now with that tune on Global Player. Before you go, I wanted to ask you about the Rugby World Cup. Are you a rugby fan, by the way? Have you been watching?
I am. I've always been a big rugby fan. I played growing up, and
what position did you play?
Can you guess?
Well, I'm going to say backs.
Oh, first mistake.
Really? Were you a flanker or something?
I was a flanker.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You could be a flanker, yeah.
I played a little bit on the wing, but also I was...
See, I was going to say wing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was always a bit scrawny, but you can weave your way through the gaps, and they could just throw me up in the lineup really easily.
Yeah.
And hopefully they catch me. So yeah, I'm a big rugby fan, and I'm very excited about Ireland at the moment. Obviously, it's an easy time to be excited about Ireland, but we're seeing something that in my lifetime, I've never seen them perform like that consistently.
I did worry in that first half against Scotland at the weekend. I will say that. I just thought this wasn't the Ireland we were sort of being promised in that sort of early stages, but in the second half it was completely different. So, do you think Ireland can win the World Cup?
Yes, I think they can. I'm not going to say they will, because I'm not going to jinx it, but yeah, I think it is.
The French look good though.
They do look good, but we've beaten them this year, so they look good. But I think also, don't want to sound like a bitter Irishman, but it is a bit of a joke. The ease that Wales and Scotland have got, not up to now and coming in the next week or so. But ultimately, if you want to win the World Cup, in any sport, you have to beat the best teams, and whether it's in the quarterfinals or in the group or in the finals, you still have to do it. So even if England and Wales progress to that point and still beat, you know, a top team, then hats off to them. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty quietly good about the Irish.
Listen, Kev, thank you so much for coming in. Please come back next year when that sort of vague new album comes out, whatever that is, and come and join us on the Radio X Evening Show.
Radio X.